Hey guys, it's Nailbiter, and in this video I wanted to talk a little bit about sort of the aftermath of Battlefield, the Battlefield 3 beta. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what I thought about the beta, what I liked about it, what I thought could be improved, and what I hope that EA sort of fixes. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about sort of the next couple of weeks. So like I said, at this point it's probably more like a week and a half until the final release of the game. So I want to talk a little bit about what I plan on doing and what I'm going to be uploading in the next couple of weeks up until the game's final release. But first, I wanted to just talk a little about the Battlefield 3 beta and what I thought about it, because I never really gave, after my first impressions video, I never gave a sort of full, detailed analysis, I guess, of the beta. And so that's what I want to do in this video. I want to cover some of the stuff that stuck out to me the most, and what I really liked, and what I hope is fixed, and what I know is going to be fixed. So I'll just get right into that. So the first thing that really stuck out to me about the beta, and I mean, I knew this heading into the beta, but what I really noticed was the way the classes were different from Bad Company 2. From those of you who played Bad Company 2, the way the classes are set up is very different, and this is actually the way the classes were set up in previous Battlefields, so I'm really happy with the way the classes are now set up. I think the gameplay feels more like original Battlefield games, and it reminds me of how or why I first got into the Battlefield series. When I first really started playing a lot of multiplayer for the Battlefield, this was the way the gameplay felt, and obviously it's not identical, but it feels more similar, and I think a large part of that is due to the fact that the classes are back to the way they used to be. So that's the first thing that really stuck out to me. The second thing that I wanted to mention was I've heard a lot of people, I guess, complain a little bit about the damage or the bullet damage that was in the beta. They felt like the damage was too high and that it felt too much like a hardcore mode. And I mean, to me, I guess some people thought that that might lead to more camping. And I mean, for me personally, I didn't find that the extra damage or the increased damage was too much of a problem. I didn't think it really hindered the gameplay, because I think with the higher damage, it makes the game a little more fast-paced, and you can sort of move through the map, I think, quicker because you're able to take enemies out faster. And it's a lot, or being aware of your surroundings and knowing the maps well and working together becomes all that more important when you have higher bullet damage, and it becomes more of a priority to keep your health as high as it can be. So I didn't find that that was as much of a problem as some people thought it was. I'm really hoping that they don't tweak it for the final game, or if they do, it's minimal, because I have actually heard some rumors that EA and DICE are going to make the damage more like Bad Company 2, and to be honest, I mean, I was going to talk about this a little later, but I'm kind of hoping they go as far away from, not as far away as possible from Bad Company 2, but I don't want them to really make the game feel like Bad Company 2, because Bad Company 2, I mean, it was a pretty good game, I thought. I enjoyed playing it for the past year and a half or so. That's what I played mostly. But it wasn't like a real Battlefield game, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So my hope is that they'll stick to sort of the original feel of the game, and I mean, maybe the lower bullet damage won't really make it feel like Bad Company 2, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't want the game to be sort of calibrated, I guess, toward Bad Company 2. I don't want it to feel similar to that. Because Bad Company 2 was different enough that it didn't completely feel like Battlefield gameplay, I guess. So that's my opinion on that. I'm sure other people feel differently, and I mean, I'm sure whatever EA does with the bullet damage, they'll continue to tweak it if people keep complaining about it. So I'm not too worried about that. That's just what I'm hoping for, I guess, to see in the final release. The other thing I wanted to talk about, sort of more related to the gameplay, is the size of the maps. So, because obviously, as you guys have noticed, the map size is much bigger than it was or the maps in general are much bigger than they were in Bad Company 2. I guess with the exception of maybe the Rush maps. Some of those in Bad Company 2 were bigger, but I similar to what I said about bullet damage, I like the fact that the maps are bigger and they have a more open feel. It again, it feels more like the original Battlefield stuff. I know I keep going back to that, but that's basically what I was hoping for. I really wanted them to sort of take obviously since this is a sequel to Battlefield 2, I wanted them to go back to that original Battlefield gameplay that I experienced when I played Battlefield 2042, and this is a little bit that I played Battlefield 2. So I really like the look of the two maps that I was able to play, and I'm sure some of you guys were able to play the two maps, Caspian Border and Operation Metro, that were available on the beta. I liked both maps. I would actually go so far to say that I actually liked Operation Metro a little better than Caspian Border. I thought I'm more of an infantry gameplay person, I guess. I did post some jet gameplay, I know, so I'll probably be posting more of the jet gameplay once the game comes out, but I am more of an infantry gameplay sort of player, so that's part of the reason why I liked Operation Metro better. But I thought both maps were really well made, and they were fun to play, so I can't wait to play on the other 7 maps that are going to come with the full release of the game. And if you're not aware, DICE actually recently posted a full map list for the game, and actually on the Battlefield blog. This is probably something I could leave a link to in the description of this video, but on the Battlefield blog they have a list of all nine maps that will be in the multiplayer Battlefield 3 on its release. And remember, these are going to be available for every single game mode, so that's really exciting. And the full list is on the Battlefield blog. I can actually give it to you right now as I have it open. So 2 of the maps are obviously going to be Caspian Border and Operation Metro, but the other 7 maps in the game on release are going to be called Damavan Peak, Grand Bazaar, Karg Island, Noshahar Canals, Operation Firestorm, Sen Crossing, and Tehran Highway. So those are the 7 other maps, and DICE has put a quick little blurb on their Battlefield blog for each of them if you're curious about that. So definitely check that out. I'll leave a link to that in the description, I think. So if you're curious, then you definitely look at that. The Battlefield blog is actually a great way to get sort of recent news from or about Battlefield 3. So that's something that I check fairly consistently. So if you're wondering about better ways to get news on Battlefield 3, that's what I would recommend. But anyways, I guess at this point, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I plan to do for the next couple of weeks or so until the game is finally released, because I kind of hinted at this actually earlier in this commentary, but so the Battlefield 3 beta ended on Sunday, and I actually had some time on Monday, so I was able to I played some of the older games that I'd been playing before the Battlefield 3 beta was made available, so games like Bad Company 2, and I actually played some Call of Duty Black Ops, which I have played actually a fair amount of that for somebody who doesn't really consider themselves to be a COD fan, I guess. But anyways, that's I won't even get into that. Anyways, and I kind of realized that in going back and playing those games, that I mean, Bad Company 2 was a good game, don't get me wrong, but the Battlefield 3 beta I thought was so much better than Bad Company 2's gameplay. I liked the Battlefield 3 beta, even with some of its glitches and not having everything maybe fine-tuned, or as fine-tuned as it will be on the final release. I still liked playing it a lot more than I liked playing Bad Company 2. So I probably won't be really doing anything with Bad Company 2. I won't really be playing that much of it for the next week and a half. And I probably won't be playing any Call of Duty Black Ops either, because Call of Duty on PC just doesn't really work that well. It's optimized for consoles, so it doesn't work as well on PC. So I mean, I mess around every once in a while, but I won't be posting any. I probably won't be posting any Bad Company 2 gameplay commentaries or any Black Ops gameplay commentaries. Not that I have done that in the last couple months, but Anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know that I actually was thinking that I might try reinstalling Battlefield 2142, which is a game that I played. It's probably the game, actually probably my favorite game that I've ever played. I played it for about 2 to 2.5 years, maybe almost 3 years. I played the multiplayer of that quite a bit, and that game is, the gameplay in that game was, I thought, really good. It was, I'd be happy if they just like remade the game with better graphics, because it was a really great game. I really enjoyed playing that, so I might actually reinstall that and maybe post some gameplay, record some stuff. It depends on how many servers are still up. Last time I played it, there was very little there, so we'll see. But anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know what I was planning for the next couple of weeks. I actually didn't get to talk about it as much as I had hoped, but hopefully you found this video interesting, and if you did, then definitely rate the video and leave a comment. I always like to see people's comments and stuff. And if you want to see more content from me as we get closer to the Battlefield 3 release, then make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.